Vasudevaya. Reading from Gita, chapter number 2, text number 34. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayisyanti te vayam sambhava sambhavitasya chakirtir maranatha atirichyate. Akirtim chapi bhutanam katayisyanti te vayam sambhavitasya chakirtir maranatha atirichyate. Translation purport given by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. People will always speak of your infamy, and for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. Purport. Both as friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. Both as friend and philosopher to Arjuna, Lord Krishna now gives his final judgment regarding Arjuna's refusal to fight. The Lord says, Arjuna, if you leave the battlefield before the battle even begins, people will call you as coward. And if you think that people may call you bad names, but that you will save your life by fleeing the battlefield, then my advice is that you would do better to die in the battle. For a respectable man like you, ill fame is worse than death. So you should not flee for fear of your life. Better to die in the battle, that will save you from the ill fame of misusing my friendship and from losing your prestige in society. So then the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battle and not just to withdraw. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Kripatamam Vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So, if we really closely observe this particular shloka, it gives us a clarity that doing one's prescribed duties is very, very important. That means one should never neglect one's duties. Generally, we all have an understanding of what is our prescribed duty. But actually, the prescribed duties have to be given to us. That means we should really know what are the prescribed duties. So, based on the nature and swabhava of a person has been given certain kinds of prescribed duties. I'll tell an example of a person which we discussed before. Let's say a person, he goes to the guru and then he says, can you teach me education? Then the teacher, he tells the student, you go and ask, can you tell me from where, who's your parents, from where you were born, who is your mother, who is your father, what they do, all those things. Then he would go and he would meet his mother because he doesn't have a father. Then the mother says, No, actually, I don't know because there's a conflict of interest. That means I don't know who your father is because I'm a prostitute. I have no idea who you are. Then the child is a very honest child. He goes to the teacher next day and then he tells the same thing what he has heard from his mother. Now, the moment he hears that, there's a clarity, the conviction here. The moment the student tells to the teacher that I really don't know who my father is and I'm not qualified because I don't know who I am. So I think I have to go back because this is not for me. Then the moment the teacher heard this, he said, you are very honest. Don't go anywhere. I will teach you the science. I will give you education because you are a sincere soul. So the child, no doubt, the child doesn't have a father. No doubt, the child is not born in a great family. No doubt, the child's mother is a prostitute. But the consciousness of the child is different. He's not that kind of a person who is changing the words every often. He's not that kind of a person who is kind of perplexed or who is carrying duplicity in his heart. Not that kind of a person. An aspect we need to understand here, dear devotees, is the honesty and the truthfulness, satya, which he is speaking. That is a driving force. So, what Krishna here he is mentioning here is telling prescribed duties are very important. One cannot avoid that. Please understand this. Krishna is telling if you are ignoring the prescribed duties, that is worse than death. That means dishonesty is not a right thing, dear devotees. Please understand. Dishonesty is worse than death. That means Krishna here very clearly telling, oh, let us assess this situation further. If you actually see big personalities in this world who might have reached top positions, but they fall prey to kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsara. Means lust, greed, anger, envy, false ego, pride. They're big people only. Those big personalities, they have extramarital relationship. They cheat their wife. They're greedy. They want to have more money. They show anger. They are envious about others. They're so much puffed up in whatever they have achieved. And they carry pride. They're big personalities only. But they carry these things. Now, why am I telling this is here the child who is named as Satyakama Jabala, He's named as Satyakama because his mother's name is Javala. Satya Kama Javala. Because what is he doing? He's speaking the truth. He has no ulterior desire. So Satya Kama Javala. His very simple, dear devotees. Please understand this. Simplicity is the essence of a sadhaka's life. No matter where he is, what he is doing, he should be very simple. He should be plain at his heart. No matter even if you are seen through big positions, but if you have committed these mistakes, people will not see you in the way supposed in the way. Do they respect? That is why defaming is worse than death. For example, I'm using my tongue. I can use this tongue for so many things. Or I might be a big person. But if I'm using this tongue just like that, loosely, putting others down, talking ill about others, or speaking lies, do people accept us? They don't. You might be a big person also, but do they accept? They will not. Why? Because the attitude is not right. Because there is a problem in the attitude. There is a problem in seeing the things as is. When a person has a problem in seeing the things as is, it's a greatest mistake actually. It's the greatest problem. Everyone in this world is trying to see or perceive so many things in their own way of this world. For example, the conversation between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, when they came and then when they met Lord Chaitanya, they're telling to Lord Chaitanya that people in this world they call them as great scholars. But I myself I don't know who I am. Please understand this. What he doesn't know, I myself I don't know who I am. What is that I don't know who I am? He knows, right? He's a finance minister, other one is a chief minister at those times. And they are very scholarly people, they know scriptures. Now, why they are telling I don't know who I am? Why is that Satyakama Jabala was been rewarded through one act of being truthful? Why is he rewarded? Why the spiritual teacher trained him in the science or gave him or taught him the scriptures? Why? He could have ignored that person because he came from a lowly family. But why he taught him? Please understand this, dear devotees. In the olden days also, if the people have good qualities, they train or teach them Krishna consciousness. Please understand. That means the Vedic education was being given to those personalities. Even though they're not born in a good family, but if they have good qualities, they will be trained up. On the other side, if you see, let us come back to Rupa Goswami and then discuss the other side. Now, why Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami when they came to Lord Chaitanya, they're saying that we don't know who I am. We don't know what is the purpose of our life. We don't know why we are here. We don't know what is the why we are here or what is the purpose of our existence. We have no idea. Why are they telling like that? Don't they really know? Why are they manifesting that mood, that consciousness? Why are they thinking like that? Why are they feeling like that? Why are they giving importance to the other person? Why are they submitting? Why are they coming to the plane of surrender and submission? Because all of these things are very important and essential for a sadhaka to advance in Krishna consciousness. Because I remember my spiritual master also told us in the similar lines. He says, when an astrologer came and met him, then he said, "This year is very good for you. Good signs will come. Good days are coming. Good time is coming." When the astrologer told him, he immediately said, I don't know how many days I live. I don't know what is the purpose of my life. I don't know why am I here. I really don't know where I'll be heading. The moment he begins as asking or answering these questions in this way, the astrologer couldn't understand anything. And he says that what is good and what is bad in this world. You are saying that good times will come. What is a good time? What do you mean by good time? Is money good time? Is having some fun good time? Is enjoying this material world is a good time? What is a good time? What is good in your language? What is a good? There is nothing good here. There can nothing, if there is no Krishna, if there is no presence of the Acharya's words, there is nothing good here. What can we see good in this world? If we closely observe his words, what can we really see good in here? What can we really see happiness here? Do we see some kind of happiness, having some fun, or enjoying one's life in this particular world? Is that really good? Is that really a satisfaction? Or watching some movies on the Netflix? Is that really good in this world? What is real good in this world? Or watching or playing some cricket or IPL? Is that good in this world? Or running behind money, this and so many other things of this world? Is that good of this world? Actually, people are not understanding the situation, what's happening in this world. I remember our spiritual master telling us that it is very difficult to protect a child or a person going away or drifting in this material world. To protect that child is very difficult. Please understand this, dear. It is so important because our understanding in this world should be very clear. Because what is a real protection? Whom we can protect in this world? You show me a way. Because if you continuously see, we are bombarded in this material world too much. The one second, Edward, 1 second. So the thing which we need to understand here is we are actually drowning this particular material world continuously. How we are drowning is we are not understanding our situation or our position here. Through the situations, what is happening is as we get connected more to this material world, we are not elevating ourselves. Please understand. Because the moment we are connected to this material world or material objects, what is happening is slowly we are drowning into that. All of a sudden, when in between, when we hear that, oh, we should be very Krishna conscious, we should chant Hare Krishna, we should do this, we should do that service, we should be very selfless. The moment we hear these words, what is happening is it is becoming like Greek and Latin subject. Why it is becoming Greek and Latin subject is because Greek and Latin subject means unable to understand or unable to digest. Just like Arjuna is in this particular position or a situation, is unable to get that. So, what is technically happening here, dear devotees? The more we are absorbed in this, what is that? The more we are absorbed in this material world, what is happening is the chance or to practice devotional service is becoming difficult. No, sir, we ourselves, we can experience this. For example, if I am absorbed in something material, I'm very deeply absorbed. The mind, intelligence, and the senses, they're so much engaged or engrossed in that, it will completely forget what is the essence of this existence. That means, don't we have to deal or don't we have to work? We have to work, we have to deal. But we should remember, we should do all of these things for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. That means engaging, engaging in a material plane, how can one be absorbed by working to please Guru and Krishna through our attitude, through our consciousness, through our acceptance of that work, through our giving results back to Krishna, or giving results back to the pleasure of Acharyas, through completely submitting oneself. Are these not the prescribed duties for us? They are. Becoming free from the inabilities of this world, is it not helping to become free from the inabilities of the world? They are. But we don't understand. But we don't understand the gravity of this. Because I remember a couple of days back, I was talking to my spiritual master, he was telling very clearly that the children in this age, they are prone to go or tend to go sideways very easily. To put them in the right track is very difficult, but to go on the side track is very easy. Anyone can go on the side track. There is no issue on that. Anyone in this world can go on the side track. Please understand this. Going on the side track is the easiest thing in this world. Please say this. Going on the side track is the easiest thing. Why? Because the mind is already habituated to that. Just like the mind is habituated, for example, in the child, in the early days of our years, of our life, whatever we aspired for, we do that for the rest of the life. Please understand this. That means those things will be haunting us continuously. No matter where we are, what situation we are, continuously we are haunted. Just like the moment Kamsa heard that the eighth son of Devaki will be killing him. The moment he heard, that means Devaki didn't have one child also. The moment Kamsa heard that the eighth son of Devaki is the cause of his death, immediately he wanted to kill Devaki. Now, up until that point of time, he had one set of consciousness with her. But the moment he heard that he will be killed by her son, then he was very outraged. He was furious. He was furious. He was furious for what? He was furious to really understand that why was he furious? He was furious because that is the cause of his death. Is he thinking of anything else? He's not thinking of anything else. He's thinking about his own well-being. Why a person is thinking of his own well-being? Because that is what is most important for him. Why is he not worried that, oh, okay, if I kill Devaki, then she'll be in a problem? Then means the person is not in a position to even think about the other person. The person is continuously thinking about his well-being only. Please understand this. Is this right? It is not right. But everyone in this world is doing the same thing. Protecting one's own self. Do you see? You see, even a single small living entity, even an ant is trying to protect his own self. If you put a finger in front of the ant, it will go in a different direction towards its destination. If you put another finger somewhere else, it will divert again, but it will not lose its destination. That means even an ant is given that intelligence. Please understand. Now, Kamsa, why is he behaving like that? Up until that point of time, he was behaving in a better way. Now, what happened? Because the problem actually came to him. No, Arjuna was not behaving like that before. No doubt Arjuna was being kept in that particular state by the arrangement of the Lord because he's a pure soul. Through Kamsa also, Krishna is trying to teach us so many lessons. Now, from that moment, Kamsa, up until he was killed by Krishna, he was continuously haunted by Krishna only. So he knows he'll be killed by that person. Now take the other side. Hiranyakashipu, on the other side, he wanted to kill Krishna. Please understand. Why? Because he is envious towards him. Because his brother was killed by him. Because his brother was killed by Vishnu, Krishna. He wanted to take revenge. Now, for that thing, he is ready to do anything. He became a big person for that. He controlled everyone for that. He maintained everyone for that. That means in this world, if a person is given something, then he is so much absorbed in this world that his entire life is ruined for that one. At this particular moment, do you see a chance or a hope of coming back? No. There is no chance and hope of coming back. Actually, parents are scared to speak something in front of their children because they don't know how the child will react. So, what kind of training are we giving to our children? If we don't tell about Krishna, if we don't tell them about Krishna consciousness, then where do they head? What is their destination in this world? If we don't tell them about the money, Dhana, Jana, Sundari is not important. Doing Krishna consciousness is important boldly. If we don't follow that, how can we tell that to our children? We'll tell our children the same thing. You earn, you do this, you do that, everything you do, in between you chant Hare Krishna on Ram. Is that benefiting him? He will get some punya. He cannot get anything else other than that. That's why to give pure devotion or to aspire pure devotion or to do pure devotion is not easy thing in this world. It's difficult. For this, we need a strong association. The person who's following the words of the spiritual master, who's following the words of the acharyas, and take guidance from them, hear from them, trying to understand the truth more from them, then apply those truths more in our life, and also apply the truth in our family's life, in our children. Because we are very much responsible. We are responsible for our well-being of our family members. We cannot ignore or neglect the responsibility which we have. The moment we neglect our responsibilities like this is worse than death. That's what Krishna is telling to Arjuna. For us, this is the essence. If we neglect this process, and if we neglect giving this process to our children, that is worse than death. Because what are we doing? We are not responsible. Real responsibility is what? Not to make our son a scientist or a software engineer, or software manager, or a doctor, this, that, so many other things. The greatest responsibility for us is to make our child Krishna conscious. If we cannot do that, we are a failure in this world. I'm talking to myself also. If we cannot do this, we are a failure. We should take this very utmost important. Akirtim chapi bhutani katayishyanti te gayam sambhavishyati chakirtir maranadatirichyate. A beautiful slogan. Krishna is telling, people will always speak of your infamy. Why it is infamy? Because Arjuna left the battle. Just like every person in this world is leaving or losing out the responsibilities in this world. That is infamy worse than death. And for a respectable person, dishonor is worse than death. That means whoever is living in between, what is that? That is dishonor. What is that? Dishonor. And what this dishonor is? This dishonor is worse than death. Very important. This has to be taken into consideration. Dishonor is worse than death. We should check this. Continuously, we should check this. Our actions have to be checked. Our life has to be seen in the right way. We should always see ourselves. What am I doing in this life? What is the real? If I just do my prescribed duties, will I go back home back to God? Yes, definitely. But we should understand what is the prescribed duties. A mother taking care of the child means what? The mother should ensure that children are becoming Krishna conscious. That is a real prescribed duty. Not that the mother is at housewife, she'll go back home back to God. No. If you make your child Krishna conscious, through his devotion, he'll go back home back to God. Because when you are making your child Krishna conscious, what is happening? You're also becoming Krishna conscious. When Dhruva Maharaj was about to go to the spiritual world, he's asking the personalities who came to take him to the spiritual world, the Vishnu Dutas, he's asking them, can you can you see my mother is also going to the spiritual world? Because she gave me so much Krishna consciousness. Because it is only through her I became a devotee. Because she sent me to the forest and that's how I met Narada Muni. Because she gave me the initial instructions or guidance. Because she guided me in the right way at that moment. Because he was in a so disturbed state. Dhruva Maharaj was in a disturbed state because he was feeling lonely. He was thinking that, oh, why my father is behaving like that? Why this thing happened to me? Why all these problems came to me? He's continuously thinking about that. At that moment, his mother gave him a greatest shelter and hope. Suniti, she said, my dear child, don't worry. All the problems are solved by Vishnu, by Krishna. You should take shelter of him. Don't worry. Take shelter of Vishnu. Everyone is telling that you go to the forest. All the saints, rishis, they go to the forest to see Vishnu. You also go, my dear son. Please understand this, dear devotees. This is actually the real prescribed duty, actually, of a mother. She is doing the correct prescribed duty. Not that giving some gadgets to the children, enjoy, play, have fun, watch the cell phone. That is not the motherly responsibility. That means we are actually going away from our responsibility. That means we are becoming more sinful because we are engaging our children in the heinous act by allowing them to engage in that particular act. If the schools are doing means schools are also sinful. We shouldn't send our children to those kinds of schools. That's why Prabhupada says that this materialistic so-called schools are like slaughterhouses. Why? This is the reason. Because what they do, they break the prescribed duties. There's no relationship, there's no love and affection. None of those things are there. So these things have to be taken care very nicely. So when we understand that, when we correlate with that, when we really actually perceive that, what is happening is we actually question ourselves. Yes, yes, what is my duty? My duty, for example, I have some time. So I'll give my child my cell phone or a gadget and then ask her to watch something. And then I'll engage in my own thing. Is that good? Is that good prescribability? It is not. That means we are cheating ourselves and we are putting our children also under the radar of this material nature. Because at the beginning of the session, I said it is very easy to deviate, but it is very difficult to put in that one spot, one focus. Vyavasayatmika buddhi reke he kurunandana. Oshakanandasya buddha bhavasmita. One pointed agenda to be fully Krishna conscious should be done. That is the whole point and whole purpose of this life. This life is meant for that. There is no other purpose in this world. If we think that there is another purpose in this world, that is Maya. And that Maya is always there to pull us down. She's always there to trouble us down. She's always there to find our faults. She's always there to find our loopholes and then give us those things. And then allurement, she will give those allurements. The more she gives the allurement, the more we go away from Krishna. This is a material nature. This is how it works. That's why to for Arjuna also it is telling, no, no, don't fight. Go, go, go. Go, leave this fight. Because how can you kill your family members? Oh, duty. Then Arjuna is telling, oh no, this is my duty. No, 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 don't worry. This is not duty. Killing your family members is superior than the duty. You ignore your duty also. The material nature and the mind is will trick like this only. No, 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 no. You should not kill your family members. No, they are there on the other side. No, that still, even though they are there on the other side, still you should not kill because they are your family members. For that, I have to quit my prescriptivity. That's okay. You can quit your prescriptivity also. This is the nature of the mind. This is the nature of this material nature. That means falsification is easily obtained. Please understand, 5,000 years ago it was like this. What to speak about now? A small allurement in the cell phone, we are gone. Small distraction, half an hour, 1 hour is gone. Small change, we are gone. That means at every moment, we are gone, gone, and gone. This is another aspect which we need to understand. The more we see like this, the more we perceive, the more we understand how much this material nature is actually pulling us away. Now, let me come back to that statement. Dhruva Maharaj, he said, my mother has actually protected me so much. He's giving all this, glorifying his mother like anything. And then those personalities said, you see, your mother is already going to the spiritual world because she served you, because she showed you the path of Krishna consciousness. And she's leading her life righteously because she was not being given any of those things, any of the comforts which Suruchi was going through. She is leading a simple life. And she, through that simple life, she is not complaining on Suruchi. Please understand, this is another important aspect. Suniti never complained on Suruchi. Actually, woman is a different mentality. They tend to complain easily. But Suniti is not that kind of a person. She's a very grave personality. She's a Vaishnavi, pure soul. So she would never complain. So these are all the beautiful qualities to go to the spiritual world. That means she has problems. Uttanapad is not taking care of her nicely. She could have shown enmity. She could have expressed her envy on Uttanapad and Surichi to Dhruva, but she never did that. Because she knows this is the arrangement of the Lord. She simply understands this is a pure arrangement of the Lord. Likewise, when something negative or something bad or something ill is happening to us, we should understand very clearly this is an arrangement. This is my karmic reaction. I have to suffer more, I have to suffer worse than these things. But it is the arrangement of the Lord. I'm getting only little. Tatten kampam susamikshamanam bhunjana evatmakatam. Are little. Are I'm only suffering little. Please understand. She is with carrying the state. That is the whole point. She was never envious with Uttanapad or Surichi. Not that they are not taking care of me, they are not giving me right things. She never complained, and then she never manifested because she doesn't have any envy in the heart. It is a very clear indication that she did not manifest this thing to whom? To Dhruva as a secret. She never manifested this thing to Dhruva. Please understand this. So Dhruva heard what he has to hear, and he went with courage and gravity to the forest. So this service which Suniti has done to Dhruva is the greatest service of a mother doing to the child. Exactly, if every devotee mother who's listening, where we are hearing this truth, if we all accept this truth in this way, just like Suniti accepted, this is a real prescriptive. Yesterday, Mataji was asking, what is the prescribed duty? Should I, if I just stay at home, I'll go back, come back to work. This is a prescribed duty for everyone. It means our dependents, they should practice Krishna consciousness. For that, we should do whatever we are supposed to do, we should do that. What is the best thing we should do, we should do that. So they should become Krishna conscious. They should become Krishna conscious like Dhruva Maharaj. That's how we should train them. Very important. Otherwise, what is the point of this life? There's no point in this life. It's a useless life. Everyone is doing eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Everyone is doing. What is the big deal? There's no point. Human beings can easily do that. Human beings have a special intelligence. They do it by sitting on the sofa. They eat very nicely by sitting on a couch. They sleep lavishly on a wonderful, gorgeous bed. They have everything. That means there's no problem. They put AC, centralized AC, very chill. They will have a very happy place to sleep. They'll sleep. Whatever they're supposed to do, they'll do because they have intelligence now. But this is not the real end. The intelligence has to be used to become Krishna conscious. If that intelligence is not used in that, then it is a mere waste of life. We're all talking this to ourselves. Please understand. We should take this truth very nicely. No one will give this truth. Please understand. It's only by the mercy of the acharyas we are able to understand. It's through their shelter, through their mercy, we're trying to understand and correlate. Very, very important. This is a real. Prabhupada is writing in the last line. So the final judgment of the Lord was for Arjuna to die in the battle and not withdraw. Very bold statement Prabhupada is writing. The final statement of Krishna to Arjuna, you better die in the battlefield. Don't leave this battlefield. If you die in this battlefield, you'll be elevated. But if you leave this battlefield, you'll be degraded. We'll be going to hell. No, you can say, yeah, Prabhu, every religion is telling the same thing. If you don't follow my way, you'll go to hell. But what Krishna is telling is something different. Krishna is telling as a father, because he's a loving father. He knows what is good for us. He knows what is better for us. Through that knowing, through that betterment, he's telling what is good for us. Because what is real good for us? Dear devotees, the father knows what gives happiness to the son. That's what Krishna is telling as a father. He knows what is good for us. Prabhupada is our father. He knows what is good for us. So they are telling, try doing the prescribed duties for the benefit or for the blessing or for the pleasure of the Lord. Nothing else. That should be the motto. When we carry that motto, everything is carried. Otherwise, it is not carried. Otherwise, it is a problem. Very important. This we need to assess. Hare Krishna. Thank you all very much. I'll stop here. Anyone has any questions? Would like to add anything? Dear devotees, this is important. Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, they were also asking the same question. What is the purpose of this life? Why are we here? They know everything, but see their attitude. Because we should always ask this question. What is the purpose? What am I doing? Where am I heading? How is my life leading? What is the purpose? I you can see you should ask this another question also. Are if I am not Krishna conscious, don't I get happiness? Us can see this question. You see what kind of answers we are getting. We tried so many things. Were we happy? We were not happy. You eat your best thing what you're supposed to eat. Will you be happy? You'll be happy once. If you eat continuously, eat the same thing, will you be happy? You won't be happy. You want to go hiking, you can go hiking for a week, but will you be happy if you do hiking continuously? That means the happiness is there in this particular material, but it's very limited. That's a problem. That means not that there is no happiness here. Krishna, just Krishna through his mercy, through his love, through his affection, he kept a little happiness here. But when one cannot be satisfied with this, with that just little happiness here, one should aspire for continuous happiness. प्रेमाञ्जनचलित भक्ति विलोचनेन सन्तः सदैव हृदयेषु विलोकयन्ति यं श्यामसुन्दरं चिन्त्यगुणस्वरूपं गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Pure devotees of the Lord, they carry the mercy, Krishna prema in their consciousness. Churita bhakti vilochanena santas sadeva hridayeshu vilokanti. They carry it totally in the heart. Because this gives them the continuous happiness. Through Shravana Kirtana, what is happening is continuous happiness is manifested. Because please understand this, dear devotees. One time Srila Prabhupada was being asked this question. Oh Swamiji, why is all these things happening like this? How many windows are there in the Empire State Building? Prabhupada says, how many drops are there in the mirage? There's a mirage. Mirage means there's no water. It's in the desert. How many drops of water are there in the mirage? So this Vivek is bewildered. What is my question? What is your answer? Then Prabhupada says, just like there is no water drops in the mirage, which is zero, what is the use of counting the windows in the Empire State Building? Anyhow, it is temporary, it will fall one day. What is the point of knowing that thing? This is the answer from an acharya, from an absolute truth perspective. What is absolute truth? Because that is an illusion. What is this Empire State Building? Bhumirapponalava khammano buddhirya ahamkarate mane bhimapakritam ashtataha. They are made with these eight elements: mind, intelligence, and ego. Earth, water, fire, air, ether. These eight elements are actually given by the Lord. They are given by the Lord. It will be destroyed by the Lord. That means this Empire State Building is created. One day it has to fall down. Today, tomorrow, or 500 years later, it has to fall down. Or they will make it fall down, and they'll construct another one. What is the point? It's all temporary. In this material world, everything is temporary. Now, what is the point of counting those windows? There's no value in counting those windows. Likewise, the so-called happiness in this world, what is the real happiness? We should actually tell our children also. We should learn this. What is the real happiness? We should tell them. Yes, yes. What is happiness in this world? Is eating ice cream happiness? How much time happiness? How much happiness we'll get by eating ice cream? 2 minutes, 5 minutes after that, what do? Again you cry. No, what kind of happiness is that? Happiness comes through absorption. Happiness comes through smarana. What smarana? Smarana, the girlfriend or a boyfriend? No, smarana. Krishna smarana. Acharya smarana. Acharya upasana. Thinking about them, thinking about their glories, thinking about their services. This gives us happiness. That's why Suniti did not do big things, but she went to the spiritual world just by showing her son the path of Krishna consciousness. This is a real prescribed reading. Hare, Hare Krishna. We will stop here. Thank you all very much. Anyone would like to add? Otherwise, we'll just hand the call to our dear Vamshula. So we'll do the
Hare
bhajan.
Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much again today for enlightening us on our prescribed duties. I have a question, Prabhuji.
Yes,
Um,
Prabhu.
you was saying that we must and we have to give this knowledge and pass it on to our children. But in some cases, like in my case, I've been practicing for a while now and get a little tinge of realization. And when we try to pass this on to our children, they seems to take very lightly. And you rightfully mentioned that we give them the gadgets by which they could be led astray, the school system and all that. Um, but how can we change that atmosphere and help them to become better, even though we are trying daily? What else can we do to help to get them to get that realization of God consciousness, Krishna consciousness?
Actually, it's a very good question. I don't want to tell this answer in a couple of minutes. We'll discuss this tomorrow. What else should
Okay,
be done to our children or our dependents so that they realize this Krishna consciousness on a serious note rather than taking it light? We'll discuss that tomorrow.
okay, Prabhu. Thank you so much,
Thank
Prabhu. Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you for asking that. Thank you. All right. Thank you all very much. Shila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Shila
Yeah.
Shro. Please take the call. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Neela Govind Prabhuji, for the wonderful class, for helping us focus on our Krishna consciousness, understanding that this is the most important aspect of our life and will bring us continuous happiness rather than the fleeting temporary happiness. Thank you for reiterating this point. Today we will sing a bhajan to worship our Guru with Guru Puja, written by Narottam Das Thakur.
Right, and that's when we're going to see Krishna, right?
Hey, Grandma. I hope we built this.
We're going to Vikshya.
But I
Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Satma Bandhamuni Savadana Mate Jahara Prasade Bhai E Bhavatoriya Jai Krishna Prapti Hoy Jai Te Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitete Koribo Akya Arana Koriho Mane Asha Sri Guru Charane Rati ऐसे उत्तम गति ये प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा चक्षुदान दिलो जे जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते वेदे गाय जहरा चरितो श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु आदम जनारा बंधु लोकनाथ लोगेरा जीवाना आहा प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरे पद छाया एबे जास कुशुक त्रिभुवाना वैष्णवाचरण रेणु भूषण कुरियातनु यह होइते अनुभव हो माजना होइबा जना साधु संग अनुक्षण अज्ञान अविद्या पराजया जय सनातन रूपा प्रेम भक्ति रसा कुपा युगला उज्ज्वला माया तानु यहरा प्रसादे लोका पाशरीलो सब शोका प्रकटा कलपतारु जानु प्रेम भक्ति रीति योतो निज ग्रंथे सुवे कथा निकिया चे दुई महाशया यहरा श्रवण होते प्रेमानंद भाषे चिते Yugala Madhura Rasashraya Yugala Kishora Prema Lakshabana Yeno Hema Heno Dhana Prakashilo Yara Jaya Rupa Sanatana Deho More Prema Dhana Seratana More Gole Hara Bhagavata Shastra Marma Navavida Bhakti Dharma Sadai Kori Boshu Shevana Anya Devashraya Nai Tomara Kohilo Bhai E Bhakti Parama Bhajana Sadhu Shastra Guru Vakya Hridaya Koriya Akya Satata Basiva Prema Maje Karma Jnani Bhakti Hina Iha Ke Koribo Bina Narottama E Tattva Gaje Hare Krishna. Translation. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. I bow to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross the ocean of material suffering and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is the perfection and fulfillment all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord birth after birth. From his ecstatic prema emanates by his ignorance uh, by by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor, and the Lord and master of the devotees. O Lokanath Goswami, O master, be merciful unto me. Give me the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the three worlds. By making the dust of the Vaishnava's feet the ornament of my body, ecstatic love comes. Washing the Vaishnava's lotus feet is my method of worship. By always associating with Vaishnavas, I shall overcome the darkness of ignorance. O Srila Sanatan Goswami and Srila Rupa Goswami, who are two deep wells of the nectar of pure love, two personifications of the splendid nectar of the divine couple, and the two desire trees by which the mercy of the entire world is free from suffering. All glories to you. In your books, you two great souls clearly describe Prema Bhakti. You are reservoirs of sweet nectar of the divine couple. Hearing about you brings bliss to the heart. Their sweet mellows are my shelter. You are fabulously wealthy, possessing ecstatic love for the youthful divine couple, a love more precious than gold purified in 10,000 flames. O Rupa and Sanatan Goswami, all glories to you. I beg you, please give me in charity some of these jewel necklaces. I shall eternally engage in the ninefold process of devotional service, which is the essential message of Srimad Bhagavatam, and I shall not worship the demigods. O brother, I say to you, devotional service is the most exalted kind of worship. Making the words of the Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra one with my heart, I constantly float and swim in the ocean of pure love. I am different from the karmis and jnanis who have no devotion for Krishna. Narottama speaks the truth. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for the opportunity to share this beautiful bhajan by Narottam Das Thakur, the first part of which is sung during Guru Puja time or in every temple, in every ISKCON temple. Thank you very much. Now we can conclude um, today's session. Let's please request Karina Mataji to lead us in Prem Dhani prayers.
Thank you so much, Babaji. Hare Krishna. Dhanava Pranam. All glory to Shri Prabhupada. Thank you for giving wonderful bhajan today, Babaji. Thank you for giving a wonderful lecture today, Babaji, about passing down Krishna consciousness down to your children. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much for the wonderful bhajan, Babaji. And Namaste. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Karina Mataji.
You're welcome, Babaji. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna. Jai Mishmada Brahmahamsa Pariv Rajakacharya Shri Tashi Shimare Sivaktivananda Samara Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
ISKCON Bhavati Founder Acharya Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
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 Jai Mishmada Brahmahamsa Pariv Rajakacharya Shri Tashi Shimad Bhakti Saranta Sarasgo Samara Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai.
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 Anand Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai.
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 Manchara Saradastikur ki Jai.
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 Prem Sakar Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Radha Shiv Sari Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.
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 Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinatha Shamunda Radha Kongari Vrinda ki Jai.
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 Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jai.
Jai.
Shri
Jai.
Vrindavan Dham ki Jai.
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 Shri Jagannath Puri ki Jai.
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 Ganga Maya ki Jai.
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 Yamuna Maya ki Jai.
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 Tulsi Devi ki Jai.
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 Bhakti Devi ki Jai.
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 Shri Ram Singh Kadin ki Jai.
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 Samaved Bhaktivinoda ki Jai.
Jai.
Nita Gaur Brahmanande Hari Hari Bol.
Hari
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 Bol.
All glories to Samavati Sri Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
All glories to Samavati Sri Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
All glories to Samavati Sri Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Namam Shamraya Krishna Shabhutalishma Bhaktivedanta Samita Namani Namaste Sarasdevi Gauravani Vicharane Nirvishis Nivari Prasad Sharane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Tagarada Shiv Sri Gaura Bhaktivedanta Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangamlam Kadagiri Mekripatam Mahamande Shivanandana Danam Panamanand Madam Shri Chaitanya Ishram Karve Gaurachan Radhikatarale Krishna Krishna Bhaktayana Bhaktayana Monamaha Panchakabdusha Kripasme Vichapaditanam Pavane Vaishnavi Panmonamaha Hare Krishna, everyone. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hari Bol.
Hari
Hare
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Karina Mataji ki jai.
Jai.
Jai Mon. Om Shilas Prabhuji, Basuki Mataji, Dipali Mataji, Namananda Prabhu, Dharni Mataji, Prabhu. All devotees ki jai. Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Dandatanam. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, everyone, for the wonderful prayers. Hare Krishna.
There you go. Sabala Gopal Prabhuji ki jai.
Jai.
Prabhuji ki jai. All devotees ki
Shri Prabhupada Maharaj ki
jai. Jai.